Effort and awareness. Effort and awareness. So we talk about tackling and pursuit, things that we do in practice. And this is just an example from spring football. But we track every single strip attempt, every single PBU, anything that is going to be disruptive to the football, we track it every single day in practice. So we track anything, and what you'll see is, after 3 or 4 practices, guess what, Johnny and Tyrone, they're the ones doing all the work. You know, those ones, they're getting to the ball. Guess what? He only forced 1 fumble. But guess what? He attempted 9 strip attempts at practice today. Wow. I mean, doesn't that tell you something about where a kid is mentally? And where is your language that you're communicating, is it getting across to the kid? And it's something that I can tangibly see in front of me. It's something that I can hold. So we'll go back in practice review and, Coach, you were in there 16 snaps. Why didn't you have 1 strip attempt? And I want to hear you articulate to me why you could be out there 16 plays and not have 1, because we tracked it. I know how many plays you played, and I know, so it tells me 2 things. Either you're not soaking in the message, it's not getting, because I'm not seeing the product, or you don't care. Or you don't care. And challenge him that way. And make a kid articulate to you why he can be out there, and if you're putting an emphasis on being disruptive at the point of attack, and we're putting an emphasis on strip attempts, why you can be out there and not have 1. And you'll see change happen. But if it's just the pre-practice meeting of, hey, let's make sure we strip the ball, all right, ready, break, and we go out there, and there's no accountability to go backwards, because if it's important to you, guess what? It'll be important to them, right? And if you spend your time going through, and it takes time, it is a long deal to count them. But guess what it does? It conforms the whole. Now you got a group of guys thinking the same way. And now you got 8 other guys holding 1 other guy accountable. Hey, strip the ball. Hey, try to punch it out. Hey, second man strip. And that's how now you're starting to build a culture and an identity on defense. Not just because we can't do it. I'm just telling you, our message in a big group, it gets distorted, it gets lost, it gets washed out. It's got to be emphasized, re-emphasized, accountability over again, walking in the hallway. You know, one thing I had in my put a football outside of my meeting, the last meeting, a guy would just walk through and they would just slap the ball and walk in the meeting. You talk about muscle memory? Just slap the ball. They walk in the meeting, slap it. Walk in the meeting. Muscle memory, tie your shoes. It's called muscle memory. You ever thought about thinking about how to tie your shoes? You couldn't even do it. You couldn't even try to tie your shoes and think about it if you tried, because you've tied your shoes so many times that you just do it like this over and over and over and over again. That's muscle memory. That's the same thing as with football. A trained defender makes immediate right decisions. A trained defender makes immediate right decisions. They're immediate. This happens, that happens. That happens, this happens. They are immediate with the responses that they have. So if there's the ball, and then I jog, oh yeah, coach told me I needed to chase the ball, and then you see the sprint, well, you're not trained. Not the way we need you to be, because it wasn't immediate. The response was not immediate. And if we're talking about whatever it is that you want to emphasize, this is just some things that we did, whatever it is that you want to emphasize, have a way to tangibly track it, to give yourself some kind of feedback, to hold somebody accountable. Yourself, the kids. It can't just be, here's our goals, we're running cover 3, ready, break. I mean, the message will get lost by the time those guys get to the locker room. So things we talk about, you get what you emphasize, and then we talk about celebrating the wins. And this is just an example. I got to run this one manually here, but this is just an example from spring. We talk about celebrating the wins. Well, here's a look right here. Right now, goal line defense, we're in red zone, and here's the interception. Big play, all right? Here's the interception. Now, we talk about celebrating the wins. I just want you to look at the sideline if this thing runs for me. The devil's a liar. Not gonna let you do it. Not you let, there it is. Here I say you got it in the name, boy. I tell you what. But if you can see, you got coaches that are, I mean, we're beating some of the kids down there, right? I mean, that's the fun part. It make the game enjoyable now. I mean, you're talking about, I mean, these are coaches here. Coach, 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 coach. Celebrate it, man. Nothing bothers me more than when a kid gets a fumble recovery and all we do is blow the whistle, next play. No, stop, celebrate. Let's celebrate the wins. It's just an example, but let's celebrate now when you get that success and when you get the things that you're looking for. I mean, this is the fun part now. We're in there, we're chasing it, we're having fun, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be right there. And you see Coach there calling them in there. So, all things, you get what you emphasize, celebrating the wins, being accountable and tracking what you're doing. I think they're very important.